And,
Right.
And
And you are. Okay, right.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Well, I was able to take your.
I even had
That was a really good thing.
Right.
Painful for me to do. Gotta herniate.
Call the meeting in order. We pledge the flag led by Supervisor Casito.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll ask that we remain standing for a moment of silence. We lost Courtney Oswald last week. She was an 8-year employee of DSS, Department of Social Services. Her mother Peggy also works there, and her 2 brothers work for the county, Matt and Joe. We remember Courtney as we celebrate Child Welfare Appreciation Month for Courtney's work with child welfare in our local schools. Please keep the family in mind as we all mourn Courtney's loss. Thank you. We'll do the roll call.
Mr. Conover?
Here.
Mr. Mayday?
Here.
Mr. Diamond?
Here.
Ms. Gilligan? Ms. Turner? Mr. Bruno?
Here.
Mr. Driscoll?
Here.
Mr. Patchit?
Here.
Mr. Drossy?
Here.
Mr. Bean? Mr. Cressito?
Here.
Mr. Merlino?
Here.
Mr. Stroud?
Here.
Mr. Wild? Mr. McGowan?
Here.
Mr. Strainer?
Here.
Mr. Etu?
Here.
Mr. Thomas?
Here.
Ms. Runyon? Here. Chairman Garrity?
Here.
Quorum is established.
Next, we need a motion to approve the August 16th and August 30th board meeting minutes. Motion by Supervisor Stroud, second by Supervisor Molino. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, next we'll open a public hearing on proposed local law number 5 of 2024, and I'll ask the clerk to read the notice.
Notice is hereby given that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Warren, New York is considering the adoption of a proposed local law number 5 for the year 2024 entitled Local Law Repealing Local Law number 6 of 2011, a truth in taxation local law to delineate state mandates and property taxes. Notice is further given that pursuant to a resolution adopted by the Board of Supervisors on August 16th, 2024, a public hearing will be held by the Board of Supervisors on September 20th, 2024 at 10 a.m. in the Supervisors Rooms at the Warren County Municipal Center, 1340 State Route 9, Queensbury, New York, at which time and place all persons interested in the matter of such proposed local law number 5 for the year 2024 will be heard concerning same. A copy of said local law is available for inspection during regular business hours by contacting the clerk of the Board of Supervisors at the above stated address and may be viewed on the Warren County website.
Okay, I'll open a public hearing. Anybody wish to address the board on this local law, please come forward and state your name and residence for the record. Nobody. Any supervisor wish to address the local law? Supervisor Thomas.
Yeah, I think that, my opinion, I think we should reconsider it, and I think that we should revamp the, what we have there, make it more visual and, less reading, and keep it out in front of the taxpayers.
Supervisor McGowan.
I couldn't have stated that any better. Thank you, Supervisor Thomas.
Anyone else on the public hearing on the local law? Supervisor
Thank
Cressito.
you, Mr. Chairman. Good points by both of them, but there is a cost savings. There is a savings of a couple $1,000s to the county budget for what it's worth.
Anyone else on the local law? Supervisor Bruno.
I agree with both supervisors' comments.
I know going forward, I'm hearing from our legislators, there's gonna be more costs passed on to the county. It probably wouldn't hurt if we did a deep dive into some of those costs and got it out to our constituents, because costs on the state level are going up. And I think we're gonna bear the brunt of some of this.
Amen.
But I would agree with Supervisor McGowan and Supervisor Thomas. Anybody else on the local law? Okay, we'll declare that public hearing closed then. Now I'll open up the room to any privilege of the floor. Anybody wish to address the board on any topic before we get into the rest of the meeting? Supervisor McGowan.
Thank you. I did see this week, from our attorney, sent out, some, well, I know you want to come articles or things that we'll be discussing in the future, but I just want to go on record is, you know, what is, I want to think especially on these, unfunded mandates, how they started back in the federal government where they used to, pick up the tab and now, and passed it on to the states when they become $1 trillion and trillions of dollars in debt. And now the state takes them over and handles them for a while. Now we have billions of dollars in debt from New York State. So they cut the unfunded mandates and pass them down to the counties. And here we talk, you know, that there could be millions of dollars. Well, we already know because over the past couple of years of budgets, you've seen they usually come in a couple $1 million a year it's added on to it. So I guess my question is, when we think of these things is, you know, I have to look out for the taxpayers, which I'm also one of them. But, you know, when is enough? And how do we address it? Those are the things that I think, and why I think the state legislators should be here in some of our discussions, because I think it's important to everybody. And that's the feedback I've gotten from my constituents. So I just wanted to say that it's just over the courses of many years. So where do we draw the line? Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to address the board? Anybody from the public? Okay, now at this time, I'll request an executive session to go into executive session, talk about collective bargaining negotiations. And Robert, do you have the proper wording for this?
I could be discussing, but you can do it under collective. I haven't.
Okay. You have.
No, I don't think that's it. Is it? Okay. That's okay.
It's negotiation.
Okay.
So will somebody make the motion to go into executive session? So Supervisor Diamond, Supervisor Driscoll, a second. All those favors signify by saying aye. Be in a short executive session. Talk about.
I'd like to